Academic advisors' main role is to make sure that students take the classes that they need to take in order to graduate on time, but we also kind of do whatever else you would like us to assist you with. So I tell my students, if you're not sure where to go to get the answer to a question, you can always come to me, and if I can't answer it, I'll find you the person who can. So, dispenser of resources. It's not a great idea to leave your advisor behind after your freshman year because, as we all know, there are some requirements that you need to take care of and things you need to do as a student. There's a lot of them, and it can be easy for one or two to slip your mind. So it's definitely a great idea to check in with your academic advisor once a semester, at least once an academic year, to make sure that you're on track with where you should be in your program and to just get suggestions as to maybe classes that could help you with what you want to pursue. Your advisor is happy to help you with any of those things. If a student comes to an academic advisor, or if a student gets an academic alert in a class, the advisor will get a notification of that, and we can help you find resources for most of the issues that you're going to encounter in your classes. Most of the time those resources will be referring you to the appropriate person that can help you. Sometimes that's a tutor, sometimes that's a librarian, or maybe somebody in the academic support center, but advisors are very knowledgeable about all of the things RIT has to offer to students, and there are a lot of them, so please always come ask us about those things. We are using a tool on Starfish where students can schedule meetings with their academic advisor online. So each advisor should have time slots listed that students can go on and see what works between their schedule and their advisors and just sign right up for the time that they want. And you can access that service through either SIS or My Courses.
So we have a variety of academic resources, journal articles, books and ebooks, course reserves. We might have the textbook for your class. And we also have a number of items that you can take out, like laptops, power cables, calculators, and that sort of thing. We have a ton of different ways to get help. If you are having trouble finding what you're looking for, we have the reference desk, which is on the end of the circulation desk that you can speak with someone if you're here in person. We also have an online chat on our website, library.rit.edu, that you can contact. And then we also have some guides on our website called info guides that you can view. The librarians have created guides to different types of content in different subject areas. So every student here at RIT has their own subject specialist librarian. So if you're feeling overwhelmed in your particular subject area, you can contact your librarian, and you can find out who that is on our website by going to the Meet Your Librarian link. And they can meet with you one-on-one to give you an orientation to the types of resources that are available in your subject area. So one of the things that we have that I think not a lot of people know about is we have the ability to get items if we don't have them. So if you're searching for something specific and you're not finding it, we can usually get it for you from another library. So if it's a book, then it'll take probably just a few days to maybe a week. And if it's electronic, you might even have it the same day. So be sure to ask about interlibrary loan, or we also belong to a consortia called Connect New York. So my favorite part about the Wallace Center and working here is the opportunity to work with students. So please come and bother me. Like, don't be afraid to bother your librarian, because that is why we're here, is for you. So please ask for help.
Yeah, so Soul is just a small room that's right in the dorms. So it's basically meant for kids to come in. If you're working on homework in your dorms, maybe you have a few questions about math or physics homework, you can come in, talk to a tutor, they can help you out, maybe work with you on some other homework problems. So it's really here to be used for kids that are living in dorms that maybe just need a little extra help on homework or studying for an upcoming exam. So my advice is always sooner rather than later. So really start working on, studying for your finals now. Maybe not even studying for finals because I know that sounds scary, but just looking through your material that you learned earlier this semester, seeing what you need help on, really just so that you know when finals week is coming up, really what you need more help with. Plus, you're right, it does get pretty busy in here with upcoming finals and other exams. So it's good to start early. You can really get that one-on-one tutor time if you come a little bit early. Definitely don't be ashamed. I mean, it's our job. That's why we're here. And I know personally when I was taking calc and physics in my first year, I went to the Academic Support Center for help a lot. I was at Bates all the time. So really there's nothing wrong with needing help, especially when it can really improve your grades. So I think it's definitely worth the time, and don't be embarrassed to come in for help. Don't be ashamed. That's why we're there. Definitely just come. I mean, honestly, Soul is a great resource. I don't think enough people take advantage of it. We have free snacks and we have tutors that are always willing to help you. So really, I would just say just take advantage of the resources that you have.
I try to run a PI session. I have an SI, usually a student, a supplemental instructor, and I go as a PI, as a principal instructor. So I try to have 2 sessions a week. And sometimes I'll get 5 people, sometimes I'll get 2, sometimes I'll get 30, usually before an exam. And they're usually pretty active sessions. Right now I have probably about 10 people coming on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they ask different questions, and it's at 5 o'clock and I think they're more awake. So they have a huge advantage with that. Typically I have office hours, probably a little bit more than other people do because I'm a lecturer, so I'm not required to do research. I'm not required to be on campus activities, committees, that sort of thing. So usually typically available. Usually not available at 4 o'clock in the morning when they're still awake, but I try to answer as fast as I can. Sometimes I'll answer, sometimes I can't. Sometimes they're best to come in for an eye-to-eye discussion, because then you can watch their nonverbal and you can actually feel how comfortable they are or not comfortable. The first thing I would do is approach them before class or right after class. That kind of softens it up. You can kind of the student can get a feel for the professor. Or sometimes you can meet in the library. I've met some students in previous years in the library, which is a totally different environment. It's not to the professor's office, so it kind of disseminates or breaks up the tension that a student can have, because I know I was always nervous going talking to a professor when I was an undergraduate, until I got a little bit more confident and I could stand my ground. And then it came with a list of questions. You don't want to walk into a professor's office without a list of questions, unless you're really, really lost, and that's okay, we'll start from there. But it's best to come to the office because you can bounce ideas off. You can find out what a student's really thinking. Instead of class, sometimes they don't want to be bashful. They don't want to sit there and embarrass themselves among their peers. And that's probably something I've seen in the last 13 years. Students don't want to say something. They're afraid to be wrong in front of their peers. The SI program is a supplemental instructor program. I like the title there because they do generate resources. The center does generate resources that are a spin-off of each professor's take on a particular course, and even though you might have 3 or 4 or 7 instructors, we're never the same. Even if curriculum's dictated to us, we always have our favorite subjects. So the supplemental instructors, what they do is they usually attend class and they generate questions from class. But here at RIT, they don't work for the instructor, which is different. Other places I've been is they have actually worked for the instructor. Not that I want to control them anyways, I want them to be independent. Some of the best SIs I've had at Auburn or some of the other schools I've been at are very independent. In fact, I like when they set up a Facebook page one time. And I encourage that here, but somehow they don't do that here. So they have other communication. It's usually by email, but the Facebook page was just awesome. Because I said something in class one time, and boy, the SI put it on, because he's sitting there in class, puts it on Facebook. You better attend next time because there's a bonus coming, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. There's test questions. We talked about them today. Give them a bunch of hints, especially if the attendance is low. So that's what I do.